Hey there, Dr. Secure. How you doing? It's me, Nakimbe, and I wanted to leave you a video about what you can expect. I'm actually also just sort of putting everything together because my team is trying to put together a video and they're trying to put together some stuff. So this is going to help in that process. So thank you for the opportunity. So what I want to do today, first of all, is I'm going to go over quickly. This is also going to serve as a training for my apprentices. And just so you know, this is how the program works. I will, as I'm working on your project, I will be using that as a teaching opportunity for the apprentices in my Mappdom International Leadership and Development Program. That way they get to learn the skill sets and the strategy and the thinking behind everything I do. Um, yeah, so there may be things in the video that don't necessarily apply directly to you, but because I'm using this as an opportunity to teach my people, we might get a little bit off track, and I just wanted to warn you about that ahead of time. Another thing I need to let you know is that in order to be involved in the program, you do have to have WhatsApp, because sometimes I work on inspiration and I might leave you a voice message at any time or a video that just simply cannot be captured by opening up my email and typing out an email and worrying about typos. It's just I'll be using a different part of my brain. So in order for us to do our best work together, I really would need you to download WhatsApp and have WhatsApp readily available on your phone. The other thing is that I have something in common with Michael Jackson and Beyonce, and that is that I am a completely different person when I'm in work mode than when I'm just in regular Nakimbe mode, and sometimes it can be quite um, a shock to people. So I just wanted to let you know ahead of time. I know that Beyonce said that she's very introverted, but that she gets on stage and just something like takes over her, and she's just different. And it's the same thing for me. I may not be recognizable. I may not be nice. They call me coach, and they say that I'm tough, and sometimes you have to have thick skin, but it's because I'm pushing you and your program and project to be the best that it can be. And what I also like to say to small business owners and startups and entrepreneurs is that I want you to realize that I have worked for Fortune 500 companies. They have asked me to be in charge of their marketing. The CEOs don't want to think about marketing and operations and sales and HR. They don't want to hire, they don't want to think about those things. That's why they hire chiefs. They're like, this is what we need. You're in charge. What do we got to do? They ask the chief. They ask the chief marketing officer. And so that's what I am, because they know that I have the experience, the education, and the expertise to do what I need to do. I've done it many, many times, and I've done it successfully for small businesses. So that is my intention for you. And I say that because sometimes small businesses, they have an idea of what they want, or they want a website to look a certain way, or they want to say this. And I'm like, it's all great what you want, but that's not how we do it in corporate. In corporate, we go out, we do market research, we find out who our customer is, what they want, and we give them that, right? If you go in some of my YouTube videos, you'll see a video I made about a client who insisted that his website look a certain way. The majority of the people who were leaving reviews for him were women, so we decided to use women as the main target market and the main messaging, which would be different than leaving a message for a male target market. And some of their review comments were, it's so great that these guys, these mobile mechanics, come to us because, ladies, you know what I'm talking about and how uncomfortable you feel in this, in the creepy automobile shops, right? So they don't feel comfortable. And so we had a picture for a Facebook ad, and of course, because I have done this for almost 2 decades, I know that customers want to have a seamless experience, right? They're going to see something and something attracts them to it. They're going to click on it, and it's going to take them to a landing page or a website that is supposed to be similar and continue the story of the ad. But this gentleman, thought that he knew best, and he had seen something from this website and something from that website, and he liked this and he liked that, and it was like a website that was just dominated with male images, and I was like, yeah, you don't know what you're doing. This sucks. This is horrible. Good luck. And I'm just saying that because I'm asking you to trust me, and I will explain to you everything I'm doing, but there is a certain methodology which I'm going to introduce you to, which has made Mappdom successful with both corporations, entrepreneurs, startups, small businesses, etc. So yes, I wanted to tell you that you are in good hands with me and Mappdom. One of the ways we've been able to differentiate ourselves in the market with other marketers, because that's what you're going to want to do, differentiate yourself from other marketers, is we're able to say these. Actually, I'm going to show you some 10 commandments first. Well, in a minute, but that's the first thing. I'm going to show you the 10 commandments of marketing that will get you heavenly results. Um, and one of them is to really know yourself, and then the next step is to know thy competitor. Um, and so what you have to do is we do something called Core 4 technology, which is a proprietary methodology Mappdom has for sort of uncovering who you are and from where your business comes and on what it lies, because that's what you're going to sell. And I'm going to introduce you to a guru in that area who talks about marketing your why. You may know him already. And so that's what we get to really with Core 4 technology. Many businesses don't spend nearly enough time doing that, and they just sort of get an idea and they run with it and they wonder, why am I failing? I'm doing everything that the webinars tell me to do, but they're just executing tasks without having the real knowledge or the foundation or the research or the academic studies behind it. Like, that's what all this stuff is based on. Like the color of a car, the tint, the crunch of your chip, that is all scientifically designed to tap into your pleasure centers to get you to buy. But that all starts with research, right? So one of my differentiators is that I have a post-secondary, well, I have a graduate degree. I have my master's in um, my master in business administration, my MBA from Northeastern University, which is an R1 university. I also have my undergraduate degree from the University of Toronto, which is also an Ivy League university in Canada, and I was an award winner there for an undergraduate research project that I had done. So I know how to do surveys and interviews and research, and so you're in good hands that way in terms of market research. Another way Mappdom has been able to differentiate ourselves in the market is that we also have the experience. So there are people that have post-secondary degrees, or they may have experience, working with a few clients and friends here and there, but I actually have corporate experience. I've worked in boardrooms of Fortune 500 companies, making strategic decisions on which way the company should go, as which way the marketing should go. And you're fighting for your bonus, you're fighting to keep your job. They don't hire you unless you make them money. They find out pretty quickly if you don't, and then you're out the door. And so that was never the case with me. I've worked successively, and they've come to me looking for me for a few Fortune 500 companies, and you'll see which ones in the slide below. And the other one that I wanted to talk about was real experience. So not only do I have experience in the corporate world, I also have experience with the top direct sales response marketers and copywriters in the world, the top 1%. I have worked with the top 1%, I've been coached by the top 1%. I know how to do sales funnels. I have been in sales. I've been a sales trainer. I've been a corporate manual writer. So in terms of anything that you need with email, webinars, landing page design, copy, I've done it all. My team and I have done it all, and I'm training them to be independent and just as good as me. So I just wanted you to know that you're in good hands. One of the first things I'd also like you to do is take a look at our video, which tells you about what a marketing plan is and how we do marketing, because I know that we'll be doing business together, and I want you to know what to expect. Because you've probably never worked with a marketing company on this level, I'm assuming. I don't think you have. I know you've worked with a couple different marketing companies, but like I say, they're on one level, more of a sort of startup do-it-yourself level. I'm like actually on a professional corporate level. So this is like having a Fortune 500, corporate CEO working on your campaign. So that's a pretty good big deal. And yeah, and I've also demonstrated myself in the market. I have many success under my belt, and that's what I would also like to do for you. So I only have 50% battery left, which is good because I didn't want to make this too long a video, but the first thing that I wanted to show you, Oh, did I not open it? Oh, I wanted to show you the 10 commandments of effective marketing. So what I'm going to do is, I know that you said that you wanted to be in the first stream in where we focus on doing video for you first. We do video, local, social, mobile content, content creation, content syndication, campaign planning. I'll introduce you to all of that in a moment. But before we begin, I really do want to show you what the 10 commandments of effective marketing are, because that's really the foundation upon which everything else that we do is built, and I want you to understand that. So hopefully I downloaded it. Oh, I don't think I did. Is my Dropbox open? I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to open my Dropbox, and I will be right back. I resumed this, but I should not have resumed this because I only have 20% battery left, so I'm actually going to put you back on hold. I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to finish off this presentation. Come on. Okay, so I am inside. I should probably do it like this, so that there's more light. Let me put on the light. Okay, let me get more natural light. Okay, all right. So right now what I said we're going to do is we're just going to go over the 10 commandments of effective marketing, because this is what we do. This is what we do in corporations. We obey these 10 commandments of marketing. So I'm just going to go through the presentation really, really quickly. The title, oh boy. I know I have a lot open. I know, computer, I know I'm pushing you really hard. Okay, so never mind the title, but I know that you said that you wanted to start a podcast, so one of the things you will be doing is creating graphics for you that will have your branding. We're going to have to work on your branding. We're going to have to get you a brand document, but doing professional banners, because quite honestly, what I've seen, and this is just sort of, the brute honest truth that I come to you with, and you're going to be my business coach as well. So I know you're going to come to me with the brute honest truth because you already have. So just so you know what to expect. But anyway, I didn't see any great branding out there and no professional looking graphics. So you have to realize that the type of people that you are trying to attract to you, if you don't have a look that mimics what they're used to, they are not going to take you seriously. And one of the things we're going to do on this video is go through your website with Mappdom's 30-point website evaluation sheet, and you'll see how you score. Okay, we do a lot of numbers. We don't guess. Again, I have an academic research background, as do you, so you know that numbers are important. I'm not guessing. This is all based on, success and millions of dollars and billions of dollars literally being generated using these methodologies. So this presentation was originally for something else, and I actually have it recorded, so you can find the link and you can listen to it. Again, that's another thing we're going to have to do with you, is we're going to be creating content. Some of the content we'll be creating will be these podcasts. Some of them will just be things that people can find online so that they can hear you, and you're giving them multiple options in which to engage with you, whether it's reading or reading on a blog, or listening to your podcast, or just listening to an audio that's not a part of your podcast, when links and stuff that they can find online, or whether it's through video, so it's audio and visual and written, tactile. So yeah, anyway, the 10 commandments of marketing for heavenly results. Again, so this is just a little background about me and why you should listen to me. So as I mentioned, everything that I do is based on theory and success-proven case studies. I do have my master's degree from Northeastern University. I'm also a motivational speaker and keynote speaker for events around the world. I'm an award winner, a recognized CEO in my hometown of Canada, and there's a picture of University of Toronto in the bottom. As I mentioned before, I've worked for several Fortune 500 companies, 3 out of the 5 of which have been acquired after I was able to implement my branding re-strategy, and then which just sort of changed the clients that we were able to attract, the experience they were able to have, the confidence that we were able to build, and just the message that we wanted to put out there, what we wanted people to find when they got out there, and we became very attractive. Increased revenues, increased operations to the point where we were attractive enough to be acquired 3 times. I was able to do that. So this formula works. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to make you look like a pro online so that people just flock to you, so that you don't have to struggle to try to find people. Anyway, so these are just some of the companies that I have worked with and helped to be acquired over the years, as well as developed mobile applications for them and worked in their mobility center of excellence. One of the things I told you, one of the differentiators about me and Mappdom is not just the education, but also the experience. So you see there's me with Gary Vaynerchuk on a project that we had worked on. On the left-hand side, that's me and Rich Sheffrin. On the bottom, that's me and my mentor, Todd Brown, who I apprenticed with for 18 months. I worked for Marketing Funnel Automation, writing their copy and working on some of their funnels, $30,000 funnels. And then on the right there, you have Tim Irway, who is just, if you don't know who Tim Irway is, I mean, he's just a legend in online marketing, education, just everything. And I've been following these guys for a decade. So I kind of know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of in good company. And yeah, that just with what I've been able to accomplish has allowed me to travel the world, and that's my goal. Mappdom has a hashtag. We'll create a hashtag for you too, which I guess will be, hashtag intentional CEOs. We'll put that with all your pictures and your quote cards and your articles so that you can always be found by that. But Mappdom's hashtag is freedom lifestyle, and here are just some samples of, just this is me traveling to Ghana, West Africa, going to different parts, including an actual real slave market, as well as the castles, slave castles, right before they got on the boat to cross the Atlantic. So an amazing experience that I always thought it would be on my bucket list. That would be something I would do in my 50s. And, I've been traveling since my early 30s, and you'll see, taking my kids with me on vacation as early as 12, 13 as a single black mom is a really big deal. And, it's what I've been able to accomplish in the industry that has allowed me to do this, not just for myself, but other people that I love. So there's me with the Obama plaque on the wall. This is me in Paris. And I took my daughter to Paris when she graduated from grade 8. I wanted her to know that there was a great big world out there that she could experience, and that whatever was going on in her little world, that didn't have to be it. She had options, and my kids are both super experienced, super worldly, and they both independently traveled at incredibly young ages. So I'm very, very proud of having been able to do that. Again, Mappdom and the strategies, our proprietary Core 4 technology, as well as our reinforcement momentum technology, all of that is infused in every campaign that we do, which is why we've been able to produce the results that we've been able to produce. Anyway, it has afforded me this lifestyle. This is our same trip. That's the London Bridge. That's Stonehenge, one of the wonders of the world, that we were able to experience together. So you can see my hair was long then. So I've been really, really doing this for a long time. I kind of know what I'm doing. What else? And this is me in Japan, and this was not just a visit. I actually lived in Japan for a year teaching English to business people and academics. That guy actually was working on his PhD and talking about pain management and neurotransmitters and all this really cool medical technology stuff. And I lived in Japan for an entire year. So this is me and my son in a gondola ride, and that's us in Italy, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. A little bit of shopping, just absolutely fantastic. He was 14 years old in this picture. So yeah, that is, if you follow Mappdom's 10 Commandments for Heavenly Results, this is what can happen for you as well. So let me just skip through some of this stuff because, like I said, this was part of a presentation. I will show you what some of this stuff is. Like, for example, this is actually important. I'll show these to you a little bit later, but the fact of the matter is if you don't, most small business owners don't even know what they don't know. So they are leaving tons and tons of money on the table, and with me and my program, that's not going to happen. You are going to be able to make so much money because we have so many different avenues to market, and you're going to be exposed to all of them. So what I was telling you is part of one of the streams that we can do is just looking at different ways to market your business. One is having video marketing strategy, and then you have a local marketing strategy so that when people are looking for psychologists or marriage counseling or whatever, I'm thinking of whatever, or a business coach or operations management, like whatever the keywords are, we would do research for you. We would make sure that your blogs and everything have those keywords so that you could be found local, and it would be like, in the Chicago area or whatever. So there's a whole local strategy that we can do, and that's just a couple things that I mentioned. Then there's your whole social media strategy and where and what to say and images and videos, etc. And then you want to look at a mobile strategy. Do you want to have want to have an upsell where people can have direct access to you through mobile or whatever? But even you can use SMS messaging, which is once you collect people's phone numbers, even if they don't do business with you right away, you can send messages because people don't really open email sometimes. We're going to still be getting great email rates, but the truth of the matter is that in the industry, open rates are declining for some, whereas text messages are opened by about 96% of people. So getting on mobile, SMS messages, having short codes for yourself so that you can blast it all over everywhere online, and just text ICEO to this number for more. Like, that's a strategy that I'm just giving you so much right now. This is usually a $2,000 strategy, just with some of the free advice that I'm giving you. So yeah, and this is just one. This is what I'm saying. There's so much money to be extracted from each of these different 12 streams. And then we look at content. So again, we do our keyword research and we find out who is searching for what people's pain points are. People will pay you an incredible amount of money to get rid of their pain. So, while you're talking about, being an intentional CEO, those are nice, fluffy kind of words, but what's lacking, even, I'm going to go over the conversation we have, but like all of the bonuses and the CEO retreat and the 4 active intensives and the LinkedIn group, and remember I was saying that's amazing, but it's just a list after list after list after list after list after list. There's no emotion in it, and I know we were just having a conversation, but this is how most people market. I'm going to teach you how to get on an emotional, psychological level that speaks to them sort of intrinsically, right? Almost like magnetically, almost like hypnotically. Yeah, because it's, well, how does this solve my problem? So there are a whole bunch of other different levels, and that is absolutely proprietary stuff. I got to let you know now. There are things that I'm going to ask you to do, or things that I will just do, and I can't tell you what it is because it is our proprietary method. So anyway, that's just some examples for content. We have so many more content ideas. Anyway, then we also look at the competition and who else is competing for your keyword. How well are they doing on their social media, on their video, on their local? That way you can corner a certain market, take market share. And we do analytics with your videos and your websites and your email open rates and everything to see what is and isn't working. And then, of course, we concentrate on the things that are, and we duplicate that. Most people spend their time on so many different things, not even know what is effective, and they're just wasting time. And again, I told you the good thing about the pressure of working in corporate is that you just have to figure that out. There is no guessing. You do not go to market unless you know that what you're going to do is going to be profitable. And they set aside money for testing. Analytics are super, super important. A/B testing, constant A/B testing is super important. Testing in different markets, testing with different keywords, different ideas, all of it, huge, because that's when the breakthroughs happen. Then we look at branding. Then when we figure out, who your competition is, what your message is, we use our four core processing technology, and then we have a story for you that we can put out there. It's going to be attractive to your audience because we have already done our audience research. Then we get a consistent tone across everything you say, consistent messaging, consistent look, consistent feel. Right now, your website doesn't have that. Again, we're going to have to do a brand document for you. And then we look at all the graphics. If you go online and you type in Mappdom, you'll see all different kinds of graphics and banners, and that's what you want. You want when people find you that you look professional. And then we'll set up different campaigns. You have different levels, different sections in which people can go. So we would have a campaign for the people for ramp up, have a campaign for the people for the vision thing, right? We can't be saying the same message to everybody. It won't land. We have to speak specifically to each individual market. So we'd be creating entire campaigns. And then we look at promoting your content, to just different blogs, different newsletters, different forums, just getting you out there and syndicating your content everywhere so that there starts to be buzz. When people look for you, there's, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Secure is everywhere and it looks professional. People are unforgiving. Like, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So, I've been working in my community market just testing. Because when I know I go to my right target market, everything has to be on point. So the first year that we work together is really going to be about testing, and we'll see how it goes. And then we can extend it to 16 or 18 months, and then we re-examine things from that point. So far, I've only really worked on campaigns for 18 months because I like to move on and help more people and get more experiences. And it also depends on how cooperative my partner is. Like, there's one guy whose campaign I've been we're not really managing his entire campaign. We're just sort of managing his social media, but he's been with us for like 3 years, and it's just a blissful relationship. Anyway, once we've done all that, once we know what works, once we know what doesn't work, once we know to whom we're speaking, blah, blah, then we can move into paid ads. The biggest mistake that small businesses make is that, oh, well, I need more traffic, so I'm just going to take out ads. You don't know what to say, to whom you're saying it. Oh, I'm just going to pick men between the ages of 25 and 65. There are 3 different life cycles that have taken place within that time, and you cannot have the same message for everybody. So, but they just have these wide audiences, they don't know keywords, and they end up blowing through their marketing budget, and everything is just wasted, and they have to start all over again, and time is ticking, okay? So if I could get you $1,000 from each one segment a month, that would be $12,000 a month. That'd be $144,000 a year. If I could make you $1,000 a month on your video marketing, $1,000 a month based on your local marketing, $1,000 a month come in from your social media marketing, $1,000 come in from your mobile marketing. You know why? The reason that they tell you that you have to be present on all social media sites, which is not necessarily true. But everybody is so scattered now that you have to be everywhere to be everywhere, unless you just want to hone in target. But anyway, then again, like I said, if we can improve your analytics and we can improve your conversions just based on a couple tweaks of words or colors or placement of items or images or whatever, and that boosts your sales and you can get an extra $1,000 a month, that's another $1,000. The same thing with looking at your competition and how to sort of take market share. Branding, graphics, content. Again, if you can get $1,000 from each of those channels, that's $12,000 a month. It depends on the price point for your services and products, but I know how much your services and products are, so you should be able to blow this out of the water. So, yep, it just says keep calm and make millions. Now, these tactics don't have to be expensive. They don't have to cost a lot of money. What you pay me for is all of the strategy and basically outline the same kind of marketing plan for you that I would for a Fortune 500 company at a fraction of the cost. What happens, like I said, is most people put the cart before the horse, and they just jump out and start marketing and have no idea what they're doing because they don't know what they don't know. I know a lot. This is what I call ass backwards marketing, and the top 10 mistakes that businesses make on social media. Okay, now finally we get into the 10 commandments, and then I'm going to do a personalized marketing plan for you. I'll read them quickly and then I'll go through them individually. So, love thy business and thy business be true. No, let's just go through it right now. Love thy business. This should be know thy business. Know thy business and to thy business be true. Know thy competitors' ways and you will never be blue. Shine thy light on what makes thou great. Honor thou audience segments in every single way. Be thou not general, or surely your business will fall ill. Commit not ad hoc marketing. Be targeted, use skill. Market smartly and only where it makes good sense. Monitor thy results. Do testing. Be dense. Like, don't be shallow. Don't do shallow marketing. Thou shalt not rely solely on one simple marketing strategy. Thou shalt move to paid advertising only after testing organically. So those are the 10 commandments, and I say that because that is what we're going to do for you. We're going to go through. I think maybe now is a good time. Let me see what we have here. Actually, I'm going to stop the video and start another one.